Ladies and gents, welcome. Hope you're having a nice day out there. Got a cast here for you with a name you might recognize from the past. On the red, we've got Ace of Emeralds, a player who I found during Loyal Legends many, many years ago. And Ace had a very unique way of playing the game back then. And to my knowledge, is around 1800 elo now. Very high rank, doesn't play the game like that anymore. Except for, some times where maybe Ace is looking to have a little bit of fun. Highly suggest that one, though. One of my better Legend videos was really unique. Speaking of unique, there is a relic that is just perfectly centered here next to... Well, I guess it's not perfectly centered because the opening of the pyramid is over here. But anyways, I find this kind of cool. So I figured I'd point it out. So yeah, they grow up very quickly, these players. And Ace of Emeralds no longer a low elo legend, bringing in the elephant now. And loses a villager to the elephant. So, okay, goes to show you that you can grow up and you can still be a child in my eyes. So, not the ideal start for Ace of Emeralds, who's playing as the Saracens here. And then in the blue, we have Lord Bolton. Lord Bolton playing as the Slavs. Now, I forget the specifics of the situation in which when this was played. It may have actually been a ranked game. It may have been submitted in my Discord. It may have been played in maybe like a little community tournament of some kind, but good to see these guys. I've seen both these names around our community for a while. 1800 elo, very solid, but still, sometimes things go wrong. Okay, and that's kind of be the theme that I would like to present this game to you with, is like, sometimes things go wrong, and what are you going to do? See, right before this, I was casting a game between two 2K players, which are better than these two, okay? And the one player was kind of in a rough matchup and was a bit behind in map control. And that player just sat at home the whole time and played the game as if nothing was wrong. Never fought back in creative ways for map control. Never tried to do anything to make it messy. And then eventually both players just built up towards their armies. And then the guy who was in the worst position just died. And I ended that saying something I rarely say. Well, that was a pretty boring game. Because it was. It was a pretty boring game. And I feel like maybe it has something to do with the level, right? Maybe sometimes at the very top, players can be a little bit less creative, but I can tell you that Ace of Emeralds is creative here. So we'll see how things pan out here. But down a villager already, and aiming to bring in the elephant over here. So the way Haboob works, if you haven't picked up on it already, there's two massive chunks of wood towards the middle, and then the rest of the wood is on the outside, like here. And then one other key element of the map is that this area here cannot be walled on. So it's a little bit more difficult to wall yourself. But if you wanted to, though, you could wall between the wood lines, kind of where the pyramid is if you were really concerned. But like Ace has a very forward main gold and forward berries. So honestly, it feels like Blue's map is definitely better if there's going to be aggression. And berries on the back, gold on the back, even stone on the back, looking pretty good. For Lord Bolton. Fun fact about the map Haboob, by the way. And I actually, you know what? I'm going to need to confirm this. So Hardy, maybe you can do some testing. And you could add an edit on screen later for YouTube. But this map was originally added as part of a tourney. And in Age of Empires 2, they have this crazy little chat filter. And... oh, God. Blue goes underneath Ace's TC. And now Ace is down 3... or 2, I can't count. Sorry, I skipped basic math. 200 food. So Ace is down a villager. Ace is now down 200 food because of that. But now Blue, greedy little Lord Bolton over here, doesn't know what's coming next. And Ace was already in, oh God, everything's gone wrong mode. Now Ace is coming forward. Now, let me just finish my thoughts. Basically, long story short, right? Haboob was a tournament map. But the game had a chat filter where you couldn't say the word boob. Now, I don't know if it lets you say boob in 2023. Maybe it does. But I know the chat filter sometimes doesn't let me say doc or doesn't let me say archer. And then still will somehow let other crazy, ridiculous things through. Long story short, I thought it was kind of funny where anytime I'm going to cast this and it's like big official tournament, big Red Bull, and it's like bleep, the whole line, bleep, everything's bleeped out. Can't say Haboob. It is now an official map in our game. And this is officially a problem for Lord Bolton, as there are militia showing up, and not 2 militia, but 3 militia. And, well, Ace of Emeralds backs away. Ace of Emeralds maybe feeling like I need to do more damage here. Lord Bolton simply just got punished for the style of trying to lane there, and the scout obviously wasn't able to see the strategy. Lord Bolton can clearly quick wall. So Bolton wasn't really able to preemptively wall due to not realizing this was going to be a drush. And Ace probably would have wanted to have a little bit more success here, in all honesty. Lord Bolton, why are we making a barracks where this could be a farm? Well, probably due to the stress of the situation. And that's kind of my point is, you know, sometimes when things don't go according to plan, make it hectic, make it wild, and try and disturb the opponent's plan. I guarantee you that Lord Bolton did not plan on making the barracks in the farming area, but Lord Bolton is stressed out at the moment as villager after villager after villager has to go back to the TC here. Now, villagers that was quick walled in is now trapped, and now that villager is going to be killed. So now it's 2 villager kills for Ace of Emeralds in this game, and then 1 for the elephant. So this is pretty ridiculous. Like, Ace sees the opponents in the next stage, and if Ace were to continue in normal fashion here, this would still possibly be bad because Lord Bolton's got enough food to make scouts, and Lord Bolton's making the stable. So we're already on 1 barracks over Ace. We've got Vills on gold, and we got a second barracks coming up. I think in total 4 militia have been created already. Again, I failed basic math. I didn't actually, but we'll just pretend I did so you guys can make fun of me, and I forget exactly what happened, but I'm trying to add it up, and I feel like there was one that went down over here. 3 militia looking for damage. 3 militia are going to see the barracks. And they can't just attack the barracks, actually, because the TC would maybe be in range, so Lord Bolton, next level stuff is... Lord Bolton is the Slavs, and Lord Bolton is building up the farms. So this is good long-term food eco. Here goes Bolton, looking for kills. And now there's villagers here, but the villagers fight back, and now there's even more militia, which is really uncommon. This is a big old drush here. Dark Age rush here from Ace. And these guys are good enough, like 1800 elo, where this isn't incredibly common. I mean, this just... I don't think this was part of any plan. There's not even any bonuses I could really talk about that the Saracens have to stay in Dark Age this long and make tons of militia. It's just time to make it messy because this game has been poor, and Lord Bolton is like, what is happening right now? As Lord Bolton's doing a good job to still add farms and hold on, but Ace just won't stop making militia here. Now, unfortunately for Ace, like, Ace doesn't realize there's more villagers on this wood line. Ace could have blue completely off of wood. Blue trying to maybe head over to this wood line because it's still needing more wood. And there's only 3 scouts on the field right now for Lord Bolton, but Lord Bolton with a bit of micro, going to kill 1 militia there. So, I think, like, you know, you've spent so much food on the militia, but if you keep them grouped up in one spot, you should really be able to do a lot of damage. Those villagers are exposed there. Ace is going to try and save them. Ace has been trying to bring in food from the hunt. Ace fights back. Meanwhile, there's militia on the berries. Meanwhile, there's militia underneath the TC. The TC is garrisoned. Militia will die. That's a bit of a waste there from Ace. But obviously here, struggles and awkwardness for Blue, as Blue's going to build more farms. Now, again, really concerned for Ace here because Blue's building up a lot of farms and Blue's in feudal age. But Ace blocks and Ace kills another villager now. And now the scouts are forced to take a fight that they feel will be good. And 2 of the scouts go down. Now, it would make sense if you have the wood to maybe add an archer range in a normal scenario against lots of infantry. But it also is much easier as a player to just keep building farms and keep building scouts. So it just comes down to a comfort thing. Like, scouts are superior to militia. It's just the numbers right now is all in favor of the militia. And Bolton still trying to get kills, uses superiority of the scouts. And Ace is just like, well, this hasn't been my game, and I'm still not really doing much. So let's just bring the villagers forward as well, because they're pretty angry about what happened earlier. So why not? So we're going to have militia. We're going to have villagers. And Blue's got more scouts on the way. But Blue got population capped. And villagers on the farms are fighting militia. And villagers on the wood line are fighting back militia. And then villagers are fighting against villagers. And this is not exactly clean, but it is very chaotic. And after a horrible start for Ace. This is maybe exactly what Ace needs. This has somehow come back. Ace has killed 5 villagers and still somehow hasn't lost one, which is wild to me. Or sorry, we lost one to Lord Bolton, that is. Lord Bolton does not know that the elephant had killed the villager. And Ace behind this has lots of farms, has wood, has gold. This is sick. But, you know, there has to be a point where you do go feudal age. And that's still going to be a couple minutes away at least. So I'm worried for Ace. I'm worried if Blue can get the scout mask going, that this could be a problem. Now, Lord Bolton, I don't know what you're doing here. Maybe your villagers have just become accustomed to being attacked by militia, so they no longer fear them. But that's painful for your vills, and maybe again, like, Lord Bolton didn't expect this many militia, but now Lord Bolton has lost 9 villagers to militia, and Lord Bolton is still trying to make scouts, and Bolton's like, what is this? I need to have more stables so I can make more scouts. And Ace is making more militia. This is like some weird bot. It's like early AI where they didn't know how to click up to feudal age or something. I have no words at the moment for you, except to say that this is ridiculous. Now, Blue is, I think, settled down a little bit mentally and has gone back to the original plan of, I can attack the low numbers of militia, no problem. You know, did relocate over here for wood. Is still farming like a madman. Is still the Slavs. But, you know, Blue needs to have probably about 10 scouts to be able to fight everything off. And it's the moments like these that really add up. Because Blue's got some scouts that are weak from before. My concern for Ace is Ace still isn't on the way to the feudal age, right? Now, if Ace could make a market in the Dark Age, that'd be sick. And Ace just is always finding some reason to force Blue into bad engagements. Blue seems really scared to counterattack. It's just assuming that Ace isn't going to be freed up to take any damage here. So 15 militia on the screen right now, and now Blue's going to take a fight, and Blue has the hill. Blue has scouts, which are much better than militia. And finally, Blue's going to start to take some good defensive trades here. This villager might even survive. And so, go. Nope, villager's alive. And so Blue has many villagers that are damaged here. But Blue has 10 army. And Ace is like, oh my goodness, I need to wall. Now check it out. Blue is trying to click forward, and Ace is actually walled now. Really good job from Ace. Gets the walls down. And Blue can still attack the gates. But now militia are wondering. And militia could actually find exposed villagers. And there's weak villagers here still. So the militia play is far more than I ever expected. I think a farm just got attacked there as well, to be honest with you. And Blue's probably like, you've got to be freaking kidding me. Like, I can't attack him because he's walled. And I have all these scouts. And somehow militia are killing my villagers again. And impressive stuff from Ace here to recover from what's been a disastrous start. Blue, though, also very impressive. Very little idle TC time compared to Ace. Still has lots of scouts. And it's Blue's turn to continue to produce army and stay in an age. Only it's going to be scouts and staying in feudal age. Whereas for Ace, it looks as though Ace is thinking about castle age. Now, diagonal gates are a real headache. Okay, because you can't easily place 2 houses behind it. Whereas if it is just a standard gate, it's not diagonal. What's the opposite of a straight gate? If it's a straight gate, then it's not as big of an issue. You just place 2 houses and you're good. But here he feels like maybe I can just repair. And Blue is looped around with more scouts. And these guys are on the other side of things now. They're going to kill the repair villagers. These scouts are going to break through. There's going to be 18 of them. And now Ace is back to relying on the barracks. And Ace is going to have to make spearmen. But you need a lot of spearmen. A horizontal gate? Yeah, that's probably the way to say it. I'm sorry. We don't edit, okay? I mean, Hardy will edit stuff. But it's not, you know, it's not like... Basically, when I brought Hardy on full-time, he was like, I'll do a T90 as long as I can't edit out your mistakes. Because I think that people like the mistakes. And it was a long negotiation process, but basically I figured He's too valuable. I'll let people see my mistakes. Now, I'd like to see Ace click up to Castle Age here. Ace is actually missing a building at the moment. I don't know why Ace is buying more food. Are you trying to go Imp here? Yeah, Ace, I think, realized, like, tried to click Castle Age. It didn't work. And then, thought, like, maybe I don't have the food for it. And, yeah, things are pretty stressful at the moment, right? You've got a scout stacking a wood line here. You've got scouts over here as well. And that was probably it. And then Ace can click Castle. So, this is pretty wild. Like, there's going to be 10 spears on the field. It's enough spearmen to take pretty good fights against the scouts. Now, these are fully upgraded scouts, so the scouts will win some fights against the spears, but it's not that crazy. Ace had killed 13 villagers. Lord Bolton has now killed 5, 6, 7. Sorry, this is adding up. You know, Vil counts 45 to 46. This is now the reverse situation of what we had before, where, you know, Bolton's spamming units, but Bolton's only going to be in one age, and Ace is going to be in the next stage. Now, behind this, Blue, expansive farming eco. 28 farms. Not even, actually. You've got more over here, so more like 30 plus. And there's just scouts everywhere at the moment. And the scouts are going to have a lot of utility in the long run. And Ace going to be in Castle Age in a minute. It feels like Ace really wants to go for pikemen. I would love to see stone purchased so we could see Mamelukes. Like, actually, I think the best play might actually be, especially in a messy game, you buy the res for a castle after you click pikemen, and the pikemen protect your villagers, and you just walk forward and castle drop the opponent. I think that would probably be the play. Lord Bolton maybe trying to send a message here. Maybe felt a little disrespected by the militia. It's either that or a whole lot of respect, you know? This is maybe Lord Bolton's way of showing respect back to Ace for that. But we've got Castle Age now for Ace, who is adding some stables to make some camels. Still has the spearmen out there, and the spearmen are getting some good kills. And now Lord Bolton's, like, probably thinking, oh no, what do I do now that I'm stuck in Feudal Age? Now, the armors have been interesting. Obviously, upgrades are nice, right? Getting upgrades, important. I would argue because +2 armor is so expensive, and because you have 8 spearmen out and all these camels, that you want to go for the attack upgrade. Like, forging does apply to the spears and the camels here, so that feels like a 2-in-1, you know, a 2-for-1 deal. I feel like that's a deal that players might want to take. Now, Lord Bolton trying to see where Ace is, and sees here that Ace has the camels, so now goes over to this angle. And you can tell Ace grabbed all the villagers and tried to send them home. These villagers can't go home because they're walled, but they soon are not going to be walled anymore by the mining camp. And Lord Bolton realizes this, and Lord Bolton's going to be in. Oh, Lord Bolton's not going to be in. Mining camp protected. Oh, that was clutch. Meanwhile, scouts are dying here. Meanwhile, we have the biggest little pointy boy poke war of Feudal Age. And Ace has got camels. Ace has got knights. Ace has got spears. Lord Bolton still in the Feudal Age, still producing. The knights go to the wood line. Lord Bolton's got to leave. And now Ace has the lead. But Bolton is making a lot of spearmen and has Feudal Age armor and also has Feudal Age attack. And camels are not known for being all that well against spears. So we'll see. Like, about to be 15 spearmen for blue. And I don't think Ace is enough to break this right now. As you can see, spearmen doing a pretty good job, especially because the knights don't have bloodlines at the moment. Now, something that's so smart from blue is still having some level of offensive presence. Still moving forward. You have to do this when you're talking this level anyways. Blue also has banked up quite a bit of stone. So if this game gets to Castle Age, blue might be the first one to place a castle. Now, Ace of Emeralds realizing I can't do damage anymore. Realizes it'd be a waste of resources maybe to run out with, you know, the camels and knights into that many spearmen. Is just now on 3 TCs. And the game kind of feels normal? Question mark? You know, compared to a normal game. Lord Bolton's obviously going to fall behind in villagers because Ace has 3 town centers to produce more villagers, and the economy for Ace will be stronger. But the army for blue should still be alive. come the next stage. And then this can all be upgraded, and then it could be awkward for Ace to defend. It's a really, really fun game here. Let's look at res collected. It is incredibly close, but obviously the food and wood is really where Lord Bolton stands right now. If you need gold, you've got it if you're Ace. If you need wood, if you need food, you've got it. Eco upgrades are on par with the opponent. Both players missing wheelbarrow at the moment, which with this many villagers and this many farmers could be really helpful. And I'm sure Ace, still not seeing the opponents in castle, just feeling pretty good about things right now. But then again, it's like, what do you do against this? I think archers, but that would take time. I also, think siege could be helpful, but then of course there's cav out there, right? So kind of tricky when the opponent has so much to get it right. That's clearly something that is a problem for future Ace. But Ace should not be, like, you shouldn't be scared of the scouts. You got to be scared of the spears, but not scared of the scouts. If blue knows it, blue runs away. I love this. 2 knights going out to raid is so good. Just right to that wood line. The militia probably passed along a message, was like, hey, we left a bunch of weak ones over there for you. We might not make it, but if you get this message, go to the wood line. That is to the right of the pyramid and the relic. Knights actually didn't see the pyramid and the relic, so I'm not sure how they really are able to figure out how to get there, but they've got great game sense, great sense of direction, and those knights kill a few villagers. So now, villager lead for Ace of Emeralds. Ridiculous army, though, for Lord Bolton. Really likes to expand with these farms. Pikeman upgrades on the way, so all the spears are about to be pikes. Light cav upgrade on the way, so all the scouts are about to be light cav. And here come the villagers. The camels see this. The camels can't do anything about this right now. And is now that Ace sees its pikes, Ace is like, all right, we've got good eco lead. Let's go archers now. We'll drop the archer ranges and switch. And blue's like, I'm not giving you the time. And I imagine this is a misclick. Oh, man, I'm kind of sad, blue. He canceled militia. So he must have accidentally queued up militia. It would have been a nice little send a message type of situation. But castle on the face for Ace. Which rhymes. And now I'm trying to think of something that rhymes with Bolton for you all. But I'll work on that. And now Ace is under pressure. Now, just like we established before, it is really hard to make good decisions and play this game where there's a whole lot of pressure in your face. A lot of things happening. Both players have done a good job to, swat away the attacks. But it really does feel like the aggressor has benefited a lot in this game. And obviously the aggressor right now is blue. Now here Ace, I don't know where these vills are going. I imagine they were idle or something. And Ace said all idols are going to go to wood over here. I'm guessing that's what happened. And Ace does not see this. And the light cav with some heavy damage. Oh, God. And, well, Ace, that is a problem. I am not sure what Ace is looking at the moment. I'm really not. Because it feels like there wasn't a whole lot going on the other side. But I think it takes you back to the point I just brought up. And you look away for a moment. You're distracted for a moment. There could be problems. It could have been that Ace was over here. I do have the same vill count now. And still a much larger army for blue. But the crossbow number is going to start to mass a little bit. And, I mean, what a ridiculous game. Like, I saw the synopsis of this game. And it was just the army numbers and the age up times that got me really excited about this. To be completely honest, I knew about the militia. I knew there was going to be a crazy drush, but I didn't realize that it flowed quite this nicely. Over here, camels are finding some kills on Cav. And Ace is going to try and expand, but Ace doesn't really have the food eco because the farms have been castled. And Lord Bolton's going to place another castle in this area. So something I will suggest to you guys, if you're ever going for a forward castle, if you can get it somewhere that's in range of the opponent's TC, that is the ideal castle. Because they're almost always on an important resource, but even if it's not the case, that your castle will eventually take out that town center, and then they're down at town center. There will be villagers produced out of that thing. A lot of different things happen. Ace microing like a nerd back here with the knights. And that could also explain why maybe the reactions are late. I think Ace puts a lot of focus onto the army micro. And obviously, great job, but you still have a TC that's completely surrounded here, and the crossbow number isn't exactly all that high, and Blue still got army everywhere. And Ace is now down to 60 population. It's 93 for Lord Bolton. And, Bolton, the Pike, and Light Cav combination has done a really good job. It's kind of funny how opposite their resource collection is. Ace is very little food, and then that's what Lord Bolton has the most of. Lord Bolton has nothing on gold, and that's what Ace is finding, is gold and stone. Just mind-numbing action here. And, Ace of Emeralds, unfortunately, has just kind of fallen apart. But Ace started it, right? The thought process was, make it messy. And Blue's like, I like it here. I really like it here. Props to Lord Bolton. 1 TC for a while. Now on 2 TCs. Just 1 minute of idle TC time. So there's been a lot of consistency with the production. And feels like there's always been army producing. There's always been army movement as well. I think what hurt Blue early on was stubbornness. Not wanting to switch into any archers possibly. But clearly just the consistency is awesome. We got all these farms going up. Ace can't even dream of having the time to add farm eco right now. And unfortunately, for Ace, the dream is kind of dead, I think. As we've got some knights and some camels headed this way. I think Ace has one more big go. And Ace's final attempt here has to be with a castle. Just has to be. And I think if I were Ace, this position's a nightmare for you. But this area is exposed. And now you see 2 golds, right? So I think building up an army and just bringing vills, however many you could justify, and dropping a castle here, or dropping a castle here, or here, anywhere over here would be so important. Blue, though, has expanded the economy quite a bit. Ram is slowly ramming down some of the buildings here from Ace. And Ace is trying to micro with the knights here to get more villager kills. Ace has killed 33 villagers. Has lost 62, though. And Blue, of course, has a vill count of 79 versus Ace's 42. But Ace, does have to play the game of macroing a little bit. It's also really hard to have game sense. Like, if I play a game like this, and I'm not being killed by my opponent, I'm not going to resign yet, because I don't know how the game is going. Lion versus Knight. Who will win? The Knight has come to save my commentary, because there's not a lot to talk about. And it looks like Ace of Emeralds is dead. Ace of Emeralds better stop running, because then the Knight will no longer attack, and it will ruin my strategy. Go, Lion, go! Go, Lion, go! Ah! Is there another lion? Well, camels are very friendly. So that's not going to happen. Anyways, you got Light Cav here. I'll keep you updated on that lion, though. Knights are actually coming to the wood line with the crossbows, so Ace is trying to find damage. Ace is clearly looking at that. Ace here did react. Ace is building up the crossbow mass. They do have ballistics as well. You've got crossbow for pikemen. And then you have, oh god, Light Cav here to save the day. That Light Cav is going to have quite some stories to tell around the campfire later. He's like, did I tell you guys about the time I killed 2 crossbows and a knight? Or 2 knights? But yeah, I forget what I was talking about because I just made a stupid joke. But oh yeah, crossbows are good against pikes. And then camels are good against knights, right? So it is a really good army comp if you can get the numbers up. The problem, obviously, is you cannot go this direction because there's a castle, and Blue just showed interest in building another castle, and Blue's going to build it. It's just Blue doesn't know where yet, because Blue was going to drop it in here and realized it was going to be denied. So just canceled it. Blue's main gold isn't even being taken right now. Like, Blue's not taking this gold. Blue's not taking this gold. Blue has no gold mining. It is just wood, and it is food. I think Ace starting to build up the confidence to do what I'd mentioned. There's no big reason for Ace to be at home right now. Obviously, here comes Blue. That could change. And the pikemen are going to find some good kills there on the camels. And now Ace needs to react and send a couple of these camels home. The camels will eventually kill the light cav, but light cav only costs food. Blue's got plenty more on the way. Here are the crossbowmen. Crossbowmen will kill this. Blue will see it. And yes, Saracen camels have more HP, which is nice because Ace still doesn't have bloodlines. And then crossbows, pretty solid unit, especially when they're not missing the shots after ballistics has been researched. So, on paper, not too bad. But Blue doesn't care about that. He just cares about numbers. And Blue's like, my eco's superior. And I could just mass worse units, and I can kill you here. And that's precisely the play. You got Ace microing. Good job to shoot down the pikes, but still the light cav are going to be here. And 55 farmers for Lord Bolton. That is the amount of eco that Ace of Emeralds has as a whole. Well, close to it. 58 eco right now for Ace. And Blue, I think, taking a little bit of time to build up the production buildings. Man, I really like the Slavs. It's very sad to me that they're not really that competitive at a high level. But they just feel, when you get to this stage of the game, my God, are they good. We haven't seen the unique tech yet for Blue, which makes the castles cost less stone. And I guess the real way to word it is some of the stone cost of the castles is replaced by wood. So it is cheaper, at least in stone cost. That's really satisfying because you can drop castles everywhere. It's also satisfying when you get to 60 farms with the Slavs because they farm so quickly. But also, you know, when your eco's flying and then you start to make production buildings, they get 5 pop space for every military building. So in this case, it's like you got 7 stables and 3 barracks. That's 50 population space solely from your production buildings. It just feels super smooth. And Blue building up a big mass here. And Ace, I mean, Ace is trying. Like, Ace is kind of at the limit in terms of res. You could still see that Ace could potentially be building up for a forward castle somewhere. But Blue's going to come in here, clear all of this up. And Blue also has light cav over here. And in the Castle Age, with no villagers on gold, Blue is going to put an end to Ace of Emeralds here. That is if Blue doesn't lose all of these villagers to the Mangonel and the camels that Ace of Emeralds is now making. This is the second time Blue's done this. Like, Blue really likes to have army in one location and then drop a castle in another. I mean, I suppose your opponent is distracted by your army. And if you take one area and then, you know, fight in the other, I could see it working out. Ace actually drops a castle here, by the way. So that will disrupt things for Blue. But this castle and then the Rams coming in will likely end it here for Ace, who's still sitting at just 60 population. But what a fun game. Really fun game. Like, the skill was here, right? Obviously, both players have a lot of skill. But the messiness was there as well. And just, if you ever get a little tired of the meta, you know, I think just look at maps that aren't Arabia, maps that aren't Arena, or, you know, keep an eye on my channel because I really like games like this. And this is a really fun one, which is why I wanted to bring it to you guys, where we just saw Ace say, this has not gone well for me. I have lost my elephant. I have gotten housed. Normally I'd lose. Let's make it chaotic. Let's mass tons of militia, and let's see what freaking happens. I think Blue underestimated it at first. I think Blue didn't realize how serious a threat it was going to be. But then Blue was able to, you know, put the foot on the gas and get the job done with scouts and spears, obviously, which I think was the most important thing. It was nice recovery from Blue to realize the opponent was in Castle Age and add the spearmen. If you're wondering what I think Ace could have done differently, I think the archers could have come out a bit earlier, but I think something that can help you a bit is actually just some siege. Like, double siege workshop and scorpions in combination with camels could have done pretty decent there. But it's just still so awkward, and there were so many scouts. There were so many reasons why that wouldn't work as well. It's just the risk of not having a lot of army when you head to Castle Age. Like, we saw Blue struggle because Blue didn't have the army mass, because Blue went to Feudal Age and then got hit with Dark Age army. And then we saw Red get to Castle Age way faster, but then blue had the Feudal Age army, and it kind of eliminated some opportunity for red to move out. I think also, like, possibly going for a YOLO castle as well could have been an idea, but really hard to be critical there. Look at the difference of the uptimes in this game. 949 for Lord Bolton, the Feudal Age. 2408 for Ace of Emeralds then to Feudal Age. And then 29 minutes for castle time, and then 36 minutes for blue. Just massive differences between the uptimes because we saw completely different strats. Super cool. So, if you like games like this and you appreciate the cast, leave a like, leave me a comment, let me know what your favorite part was. I gotta reach out to Ace of Emeralds one of these days. I gotta see if he still plays the way that I found him. If he still plays the Ace of Emeralds way and takes the forward stones and golds. I think he got really good at the game, but then he was still occasionally playing with an account where he actually did that. Because I always had the impression when I saw Ace of Emeralds at 900 ELO or whatever back in the day, I always had that impression there was clearly someone who was could probably be higher ranked than what he was, but he just wanted to make the game unique and made the game more difficult for himself, leaving villagers exposed, taking stones and golds all over the map. Check out those videos if you haven't, by the way. Ace of Emeralds games, just perfect. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, everyone. Appreciate it.